When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Okay, there we go. That answers that.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
So Sanjay did pass away, and Dawn came back to Edie down here.
And to see kids in the house again.
That's a pretty cute idea.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
So we're getting quite high up on the ramshackle bit of the house then.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Edith, so we were homeschooled. Okay. Reading is a hoot. Multiplication. Well, that's pretty cute that we've got a little our own little
But it didn't last.
school. Odin Finch, history, myth, the curse. Oh, cool. So we made a little history project about our cursed family. Oh, so that's us. That's our family photo. So that's Dawn, our mother, Sanjay, our father, and then the three of us, Milton, Lewis, and Edith. Relief efforts end in disaster. Oh, is that perhaps how Sanjay died? Was in a relief disaster?
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
That's pretty freaking cool. I mean, for my 10th birthday, I can't remember what I got. I want a castle. I want an actual castle on my 10th birthday. Well, that's all locked up as well. Just gonna check around the back and see if there's anything going on around here. Nope. Nope. Right, in we go. Wow, these kids certainly get cool rooms, don't they? Uh-oh. Is there like a paint thief here? That's a bit unfinished Swan, which instantly are the same developers.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Yeah, this is very unfinished Swan style. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a nod to it. Up we go. So Milton technically was never found. So we don't know what happened to Milton. Yet.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Did he just disappear through the world? So he just disappeared.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
So where did he go? Curiouser and curiouser. Maybe he disappeared to another kingdom. Maybe it's like Pan's Labyrinth. He was, actually royalty in a fey wilderness.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
That's the door to the other world. And the footsteps do end there. Magic paintbrush indeed. Yeah, the footsteps do seem to go in there. So maybe...
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Are you implying that Mother Dearest, got rid of Milton? Because that's quite dark if you are implying something there, my dear. Jarkor says, so did she believe that sealing the doors would stop the curse? Maybe. I guess we head further up and see maybe what happened to Lewis next?
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Oh, we can't go further up there. So we're going to go this way. What a crazy house. There's a boat in the house, guys. The house is a boat! Very, very familiar, eh? Like Duncan's room. Hashish. Games. Beer thing. Oh. Locker contents. Okay, I'll check that in a second. Gamer. Typical. This is how I imagine Duncan's room would be. How cool are they? He lives in a boat. I'm on a boat, yo. Video
Lewis
games.
and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Sounds like Duncan. Burn! Bow. Dawn Finch, okay. Oh, Institute of Psychology.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh. Gotta put the fish in the thing.
He kept working at the cannery.
I'll put the fish in the
But he
thing.
withdrew part of himself.
Gotta put the fish in
In
the
our sessions, I
thing.
saw the same behaviour.
Put the fish
His
in the
mind
thing.
began
to wonder. What's this? Can I not grab this? I don't kind of like the implication of how this is gonna go. What? His eye began to what?
wander.
Oh. I'm a wizard! I'm a wizard, Harry. I'm a wizard.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small,
Oh god. Oh god.
imagining a labyrinth.
I've got to do that and do the fish at the same time.
He'd feel his way about.
Oh god.
Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Oh, I can see where this is gonna go. Kim's cognition. Can she make the left side of her brain and the right side of her brain work at the same time?
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Get in there. Come on.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery,
I'm worried about him too.
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
I do like how this
So I
kind
let
of
him go on.
maze is evolving from 2D to 3D.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Dog! Dog friend. I like dog friends. My neighbour might be getting a dog
On the
soon.
edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Okay. Definitely still not substance abusing at this point.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band.
I like everyone just
He was
wiggling
always
their arms
high.
for us.
Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Oh my gosh.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
Yeah.
Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
Like what? I appear to be stuck. Oh wait, no, I need to go up here. Okay, there we go.
He held an election for mayor,
Oh, well that's nice. I would have just made myself king.
and he won.
That Mario reference.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
I like this. I like how this is now taking over the
Conquer
entire
a city, then immediately push on.
screen. So like, as he's daydreaming more and more, it's taking over more and more of the
New Louisville.
reality bit here. So I'm seeing even less and less parts
St. Louis.
of the
We
reality
started
bit.
drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Oh.
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Okay. So he just became catatonic.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
beautiful prince.
beautiful prince.
Ooh. Whoops. Get out of the way, fish!
The prince was on his own quest for
Radiant rainbows. I like rainbows. Let's go for radiant rainbows. I like rainbows.
radiant rainbows.
Yay! Whoops. Can I not just go through the middle of it? Thank you. Right, try and go through the middle. There we go. No, I don't want to knock it over. I want to go through the middle.
He followed the sound of his
Silver harp. Yeah, we're going for the silver harp.
silver harp.
Choose your own adventure. This is cool. I don't like where this is going to end, but...
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh god, it's taken over entirely.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
This is like me running away from my responsibilities.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
The game's taken over completely now at this point.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
This is so tricky.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
Uh-oh.
It was hard to argue with him.
Okay. My imagination is as real as this body. I don't like where this is going. I don't think this is going to be a happy ending.
He began to forget the world we know.
Okay. Oh.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Well, this isn't going to end well, is it? I like the bit where we were
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Don't do it, Lewis. Don't do it. He's not actually... He's just... Yeah. He's gone. He's gone.
I still thought I could save him.
Nope.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
I mean, I guess at least he thinks he's having a good ending. There's a giant cat over there. That works. Which cat is that?
The wise calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
Molly. Okay. Family cat. Thanks, Molly. Yeah, we are going towards the light, aren't we? Don't go towards the light. Do you suppose those stained glass windows are a representation of our family?
His prince waited, holding his crown.
This game is absolute genius, isn't it? I love how...
There was only one thing left to do.
How they've presented this and interpreted it and come up with so many innovative ways of showing the story.
Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Wow. Well, that's one hell of a way to go.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Poor guy. Do you notice as well that the crown that was in his illusion there is the same crown that was left on his tombstone? His little crown artifact. Oh, yeah.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
Okay.
She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Well, I'm pretty sure Edie probably didn't take that very well.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Is this Edie's room? No, Edie was downstairs, wasn't she?
I wish we'd stayed.
Oh. Well, we're standing on packing things. I mean, this
But I
maybe
understand why we left.
maybe this is Dawn's room. Edie, Mom, in loving memory of Lewis Finch. So it seemed like Lewis died, and they were here a week, and then something happened, and they all skedaddled in a hurry.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
I mean, it seems like it's just Dawn, Edith, and Edie. But hold on a minute. Edie died in 2010. Dawn died last year. What's this? To teach and learn. So Dawn wrote a book. Disaster relief. So that's Sanjay's, her husband's belongings.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Oh, did she?
Maybe it should have come sooner.
So is this my room?
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Yeah, that seems to be where all of this came together. Got a cute room though. Do you notice how there's elements of everything? So there's the little disciples and princes and ships from Lewis's dream. Molly's little thing there. Toys from Gus and Gregory. And Barbara's films. So it seems like there's a bit of everyone in this room here. So where do we come in?
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
I don't want the adults to argue.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Okay.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
There's my new gloves from Grandma. Great-grandma. Yeah, because Kay is my grandmother, so Edie is my great-grandmother.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
The History of the Finches by Edie Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
So we're seeing Edie's story.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
We gotta go
When the
back.
fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
I'm gonna find this. There's no, like, light or bell for me to listen to. Come on.
I started seeing things.
Oh. Hello? Hello, old house.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Like... Oh, okay.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Like the reason why your
Or
family's
maybe
cursed?
I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
Yeah.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Aww. I mean, Great Grandma Edie seems awesome.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she
She
already
wasn't
gone.
there. Yeah.
After that, we moved around a lot.
So that was in
We both tried
2010.
to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom doesn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
Except...
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
So I am Edith's daughter. Son. Well, that is monumentally sad. So I'm guessing she died in childbirth. Is that really something you want to pass on to your son? The legacy of how this entire family line just... well, not came to an end, but... oh gosh, what a monumentally sad... I always knew that it wasn't going to have a happy ending, but that is a monumentally sad one. Oh my gosh. So I guess, yeah, it's just a cursed family. Oh my gosh. I loved basically how innovative they were, and how they kind of, even though we only met them through their memories, like we discovered kind of everybody's personalities. Everyone had such a unique personality, didn't they? That was amazing. I loved how the story was told as well, with all the different mechanics, like Lewis's story in particular, with the kind of the imaginative bit kind of taking over the reality bit. That was astonishing. Like, wow. Oh, my heart hurts so much. And then Milton there, like, what happened to Milton? Just disappeared. Oh my gosh. How are you guys holding? Everyone in chat right now is just wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. Do we think it's a family curse, or do we think that, is it a case of perhaps these stories made people suicidal or tragic? You know, did people listen to the stories too much? Was having the story, you know, is that what happened there? Like, yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, everyone's just like crying their eyes out in the chats. But yeah, the game, I love that. Absolutely love that game. That was amazing. I wanted a sad story indie game to play through, and by God, we got it. We absolutely got it. So everyone's thinking it's cursed stories. Some people think that they built their house on a cursed Native American burial ground. Neme says half of them died due to stupidity, the others were just incredibly tragic. But yeah. Oh my God, that was one of those bittersweet things where I really loved the story, but also I'm sad now. Really, really, really sad. But also, what a perfectly timed game, 3 hours. Oh my gosh. I like how creative the house was as well. I really loved how beautiful, you know, I thought it was just going to be some kind of generic gothic house, you know, kind of like Gone Home or something like that. But I love that the house itself was just this crazy, beautiful, creative house full of all these hidey holes and full of character and personality. Like, that's a really interesting, you know, bit of set design to tell you the story. But yeah, Shani88 says, nah, the curse came from their homeland. Wasn't Odin traveling to escape it? So yeah, Odin left, so maybe he brought the curse with him. How did they get cursed in the first place? But yeah. Oh my gosh. Some deaths like Greg and Gus were easily avoidable, others like Dawn weren't. But yeah. What an absolutely beautiful game. So yeah, of course, Genova Chen, because it's done by the kind of Sony team. But yeah, beautiful. There's this kind of group of developers who release games like this, The Unfinished Swan. What's the other indie game? It's gonna drive me mad. Flower, things like that. Journey. That all kind of have a hand in this, and you know, anytime anyone says like, you know, these games are made by these people, I'm like, yes, I'm going to see that. But yeah, wow, What a beautiful, beautiful game. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.